Careers today are no longer straight lines. They are filled with pauses, detours, doubts, and difficult questions. What do you do when success feels empty? When growth stalls? Or when what you should do no longer aligns with who you are? On this episode of edX Live, we speak with Deepa Undi Krishna, career design concept, about mid-career dilemmas, redefining success, and how life design can help professionals move from feeling stuck to creating meaningful career direction. Hi, ma'am. Welcome to edX Live.
Thank you, and thanks for inviting me.
So many professionals in their 30s and 40s appear successful on papers, but feels deeply stuck. From your work, what actually triggers a mid-career crisis in India? Is it success, stagnation, or something deeper?
That's a nice question. In fact, mid-career crisis is largely talked about these days. But yeah, this problem is not prevalent only in India. It's there everywhere. But a lot of research is also done on this. So it's basically a combination of a lot of factors. One is the midlife stage, midlife career, they say. So you reach your 40s, 30s, and 40s. I mean, as such, physical, psychological changes happen to individual. I mean, energy level goes down, and all this reflects in career also, like your motivation. I mean, you start searching for meaning in your work. Okay, or I mean, the vision and mission. I mean, the organization vision and mission and all that. You might not find it aligned with what is your values at times. So basically, when you go get into that, then frustration sets in. So the work fulfillment may not be that what you would have expected when you started your career. So many of these factors lead to stagnation, and people face the career derailing incidents like job loss. I mean, the type of careers we are in now, it's not a ladder. I mean, it's not a predictable scenario. So yeah.
So you approach careers through a life design lenses rather than linear ladders. How do you personally define a career today?
Career for me is more careers are more composite in nature. I mean, I see it that way. I mean, in the present scenario, see, it's not a job for lifetime scenario. Like, for example, I mean, you can have a full time job, then you can do a freelancing. In fact, even career breaks are also normalized in today's context. So it's no more a linear trajectory what we had seen earlier in when we had the hierarchical nature of careers. Okay, like for example, if you see public sectors and in the industrial revolution, it was more of hierarchy. You know, after this role, you get into another role and all that. So now it is no more that scenario. So that's where the life designing as a concept and as a career counseling intervention plays a major role because it's more about meaning making. I mean, understand people's experiences and help them chart their unique career path. Okay, based it's more of a subjective intervention because if you see the earlier career intervention was more objective based, which is okay for somebody who wants to start a career and choose a job. I mean, choose a particular profession which aligns with the interest. But in the scenario when you say now, like mid career, people reach a certain stage, it is more of understanding the career experiences and finding out the unique script, basically.
In your counseling sessions, how often do you see people caught between what they want to do, what they feel compelled to do because of money, family, social expectations, and how do you help them navigate that conflict?
Most of my counseling session, I mean, I have never felt anybody was so compelled to do what they were doing. And yeah, but yeah, having said that, people had interest, passions. For example, there was somebody who liked theater and his family also is into theater. But yeah, all of us understand in the I mean, when the IT revolution came in the booming industry, most of us have, I mean, that there are a lot of job prospects and people got into professions. So nevertheless, they carried on in that flow. So then, yeah, but somewhere down the line, there's a calling that they want to get into their fashion. So that's where they come like, how do I blend my interest? And I mean, long run, I want to do this. Maybe I want to get full time in theater. Is there something I can do now where I can take the skills I gained now, maybe work in organizations, and maybe also use it in a area where I can channelize my interest also. So that's what they seek now. Okay, because and so there is nothing like, I mean, somebody was like, okay, I could have, because everybody goes with the flow once they get into a job.
So many people believe a career change will magically solve dissatisfaction. What are the biggest misconceptions professionals have about switching careers at midlife?
I think first and the foremost, people have to be clear why they want to change. Okay, it's not that not a scenario like grass is green at the other side, and yeah, and the change should be like, I mean, you have to justify yourself. What is that you want to do, and how do you want to do what you want to do? That's where a counselor will see you are in a you have something in your mind, but yeah, you need to figure out and chart your. I mean, how do you want to approach this? For example, somebody comes to me and say, "This is my interest area. I mean, this is what I want to follow." But yeah, I have to give them a concrete direction in terms of, okay, this is your interest. Did you do any due diligence in terms of how is that you want to take it forward? Okay, I mean, whether you want to do a abrupt shift or whether you want to do it gradually, but these are the areas they have to objectively think about. Otherwise, I mean, I don't think it's just that, okay, I'm not happy with this scenario, and yeah, that depends on what again the person wants to do also. Like if somebody wants to take a break for some time and then figure out is a different thing. Somebody wants to do it in a gradual process, it's a different thing. But that clarity and control on what you want to do becomes very important.
So, on the same lens, can passion become a proper money earning job?
I mean, if again, I think that would again be a trade off. You are pursuing your passion with that interest, and see, I mean, we are all looking at a stage where there's a sustainable career model. You say from career terms, so sustainable again gets it's not only about your work, your work, your health, your life, the satisfaction you get from your work. All this play a very important role. Okay. That's where we need to balance it. Now you want to take your passion forward. Yeah, again, people like look into various other angles also in terms of financial, whether it is actually a viable. I mean, it is okay for you to take that leap for a couple of years. You follow your passion. I mean, these are the judgment calls people make based on their context and how much is their intention to put forth the passion into a full time action. And okay, and yeah, risks will be involved, but yeah, that's the part of the game. So okay, and it is has its own rewards also, like how disciplined one goes about in their journey. Will have it their own rewards. So that's the tracy. There are some people who would like to follow the passion and put it into a proper full time occupation or full time job later on. But for a period of time, like for example, art, theater, music, people would want to do something during weekends and then gradually take it forward.
So, a lot of mid career distress seems to come from identity being tied to the roles and titles. How do you help clients separate who they are from what they do without losing direction?
See, I think this is more like we all play a lot of roles in life, right? Lifespan, life space. I mean, when you see from a career development angle, in fact, this was in 1950s. Uh, about that counselor named Donald Super came up with the lifespan, life space theory. So, like, you would play different roles in life. So that's also so people's identity again should be balanced in all these roles. Like, so it so happens that you invested in one role so much that you tend to, I mean, you get so carried away by it that you forget the, I mean, you are not able to balance it. Like, for example, getting so invested in career. Now, again, career also, yeah, it's good to say that you're invested in role, but what are the competencies and skills? I think that's where people are separate that role. You should be known for your competencies and skills rather than I am so and so in this company and so and so in that company. So, see, many people, for example, many people who have been in company for a very long time, like been in a particular company for 17, 18 years and then doing a shift, they find it, so their identity is so tied to their previous company that they always see that, yeah, that is the truth. When they come here, so that's where you need to do a little bit of disconnection. I mean, the role clarity, develop that clarity in terms of these are the skills I'm carrying from here, irrespective of. So, my identity would be more to do with the skills and experience which I get rather than the position I held in the. So, a counselor again would, if they approach, will help in all these scenarios in terms of how do you develop that. So, it's basically I mean, in terms of reframing your identity, and so otherwise you are sitting in your past actually.
So, life designing counseling emphasizes reflection and experimentation rather than one time decision. How does designing a career differ from choosing a career, especially for mid career professionals?
See, designing a career and choosing a career. So when does choosing a career come into picture? For example, it is more to do with when you're starting your career. For example, college graduates and pass out, they are in a stage where they need to choose a career. So yeah, there are a lot of objective assessments, career assessments, which are into picture, which they take. Okay, so and that helps them. Okay, maybe this is my interest, and these are the occupations. This would be aligned to me and all that. So, but when it comes to mid-career stage, more or less people are aware of what are their strengths. There is some experience mm, backing them. So it is more about designing their career and see what is the role work plays in your life. The role of work in your life in designing that career. What role the work plays in this life, the whole of the designing your career. Okay, and how do you want to go about it actually? So that's where life designing. It's more about understanding again, when I say understanding the past experience and developing a meaning, the reflection helps. Unless you understand, it's not only a see, you have an objective career, which is more to do with your resume. You have worked in so and so companies, these are the roles you held. Okay. And there is a subjective career also, which goes along with that, which is actually when it comes to midlife, it is all it gets bottled up. So that has to be opened up for you to again redirect your careers.
So many professionals struggle to balance meaning with financial and social stability. Is it realistic to expect fulfillment from work, or should career primarily be about security?
Okay. Yeah, so you are saying whether it's a security for lifetime, okay, job for life. So I think the job for life concept is again gone. More or less, financial stability is very important, but how career plays a role there is again to do with how we build our skills and competencies, right? So see, when you financially, the problem is now, and I think Rajin in Indian social context also, we have a generation who have come from the industrial era, like who had been in jobs for lifetime, like banking profession or public sectors or government jobs and all. Okay, so for them it is like you get into there, it's they know where they will reach by the time they retire. But then they're seeing another generation who is like, you got into one job, you're shifting jobs. So there is that confusion. That's where the social expectations have come. So the generation which is there into shifting jobs also should be clear that, yeah, I mean, basically the control on your the adaptability and the resilience of careers, no? Like how you, even if you don't have a job now, confidence in our skills and competencies. Yeah, and it will help us again find another job, or and that learning, continuous learning is the, I think, the game now. Career adaptability and continuous learning are the two things. If we concentrate, I think it will, I mean, no matter what risk we take, it will help us chart our path.
So, if you're speaking to someone who feels stuck, exhausted, and unsure about the next step, but also afraid to make wrong moves, right? What is the first inner shift or the question you would ask them to reflect on?
See, then again, as a counselor, there are two things I would look at. Mm, First of all, understand the reason why a person is getting stuck. Okay. What's his journey so far? Where is this? Where is the fear coming from? What were his experiences? Is it to do with some of the past experiences that is actually molded his thinking or thought process, beliefs, or maybe a toxic relationship earlier, or maybe the culture? I mean, he was not happy with the environment, or whatever he or she. So that's where one, as a counselor, I would be figuring it out, understand any of the mental blocks, and then along with the client, helping guide him to the next process. How does he want to take it forward? Help him understand his strengths also in this well. So what happens in most of the cases is people are so into that blocks. When you're stuck with your own mental blocks and beliefs, career beliefs, whatever it is, whether the organization is like the company, jobs are like these companies. I mean, it's very difficult to get into a open mindset and move forward. So that's where a counselor would be helping the client to actually unclear all these obstacles and chart out a path going forward. How do you want to chart out a path along with the client? It's a client who will be deciding like what is that he want to do, how does he want to do, and in terms of I'll be helping them. So they have to come up with an objective plan in terms of how do they go about. Um, I mean, setting up. I will be giving them the what is it? So inputs in terms of how they can, what are the areas they could explore from a guidance perspective. Okay, along with helping them. unblock their mental barriers and all that.
So thank you very much for being on edX Live. It was pleasure talking to you.
Thank you so much. I think it was great talking to you. Thank you.
Careers aren't meant to be followed blindly. They are meant to be reflected on, reshaped, and redesigned over time. A big thank you to Deepa Unnikrishnan for helping us unpack mid-career challenges with honesty, research, and empathy. Stay tuned for more such conversations on edX Live, where we explore careers, choices, and the courage to rethink them.